Have you ever caught your cat staring directly at you? It might seem normal, but your cat could actually be trying to tell you something. Cats are very quiet animals, but they are always communicating in their own way. And one of the strangest things they do is stare directly at their owners. Sometimes it means they want something. Sometimes it shows trust. And sometimes it could be a sign you're missing something important. In this video, we're going to explore the real reasons why your cat stares at you. And by the end, you might understand your cat much better. So let's start with the most common reason cats stare at their owners. Reason 5. Your cat may feel threatened or irritated. Not every stare from your cat is friendly or harmless. Sometimes a cat's stare can be a warning sign. If your cat is looking at you with a stiff body, wide eyes, or a tense expression, it may not be feeling relaxed at all. In that moment, your cat could be stressed, uncomfortable, irritated, or even defensive. Cats usually communicate with body language before they make any aggressive move. They do not always hiss or growl right away. Instead, they often give quiet signals first, and a hard, fixed stare can be one of them. This is your cat's way of showing that something feels wrong and that it may want space. This kind of stare often happens when a cat feels disturbed or pressured. For example, if you keep petting your cat after it has had enough, if you get too close while it is resting, or if it feels cornered and cannot move away easily, it may respond by staring at you in a more intense way. In that case, the stare is not about affection. It is more like a silent warning. The most important thing is to look at the stare together with the rest of the cat's body. A calm cat usually looks soft and relaxed, but an irritated cat may have flattened ears, a twitching tail, a crouched body, or very large pupils. These signs tell you that the cat is not comfortable and may react if the situation continues. If you notice this type of stare, the best thing to do is give your cat some space and let it calm down. Do not force interaction. Keep touching it, or move even closer. Sometimes, the safest and smartest response is simply to back off for a moment. So in some cases, when your cat stares at you, it is not asking for food or showing love. It may actually be telling you that it feels uncomfortable and wants to be left alone. Reason 4. Your cat is learning. Your routine cats are very observant animals, and one thing many owners do not realize is how closely cats study daily habits. Even when they seem relaxed, they are constantly paying attention to what happens around them. That is why your cat may sometimes stare at you simply because it is watching your routine and trying to figure out what you are going to do next. Over time, cats begin to recognize patterns in your behavior. They learn when you usually wake up, when you go into the kitchen, when you come home, and when it is time to eat or play. So when your cat stares at you, it may be watching for small signs that something important is about to happen. In the cat's mind, your actions often lead to things that matter to it. For example, your cat may notice that every time you stand up from your chair, walk toward the kitchen, or pick up a certain object, something usually happens next. Maybe it gets fed, maybe a door opens, or maybe it is about to get attention. After seeing these patterns again and again, your cat starts watching you more carefully because it expects the same routine to repeat. This means the stare is not always random. In many cases, your cat is actually trying to predict your next move. It is paying attention to your body language, your timing, and your habits, because those things help it understand what is about to happen. So sometimes, when your cat stares at you, it is not being strange at all. It is simply observing the person whose routine shapes a big part of its day. Reason 3. Your cat is curious about what you're doing. Cats are naturally curious animals, and that curiosity is one of the biggest reasons they stare at their owners. Even when they look calm or lazy, they are often quietly watching everything around them. Your cat sees you as a very important part of its environment, so your movements, sounds, and actions easily catch its attention. When your cat stares at you, it may simply be trying to understand what you are doing. If you are cooking, cleaning, talking, working on your laptop, or even just walking from one room to another, your cat may watch closely because it wants to know what is happening. To a cat, even simple human behavior can be interesting because it is always changing and often connected to something important. Cats also like to stay aware of their surroundings. Watching you helps them feel informed and in control of what is going on in the home. They may be trying to figure out whether you are about to feed them, leave the room, make a loud noise, or do something unusual. In that sense, staring is part of how cats observe and understand the world around them. Sometimes the stare happens because your cat is focused on small details that humans usually ignore. It may be watching your hands move, your facial expressions change, or the sounds you are making. Since cats are very alert animals, they often pay attention to little things that seem unimportant to us but interesting to them. So in many cases, when your cat stares at you, it does not mean anything negative at all. It simply means your cat is curious, interested, and paying close attention to what its favorite human is doing. Reason 2. Your cat is showing trust and affection. Sometimes when your cat stares at you, it is actually a very positive sign. Cats do not relax around people they do not trust. So when your cat looks at you calmly and comfortably, it can mean that it feels safe in your presence. Instead of being tense or alert, the cat is simply enjoying a quiet moment with someone it feels close to. One of the clearest signs of this is when your cat stares at you and then slowly blinks. This is often seen as a sign of trust and affection. In the cat world, a slow blink shows that they feel secure enough to lower their guard. That is why many people describe it as a cat's way of showing love in a soft and quiet manner. Unlike loud or obvious behavior, cats often express affection in subtle ways. They may not always jump on you or ask for attention directly. Sometimes their love shows in calm presence, relaxed eye contact, and peaceful body language. So if your cat is staring at you with a soft expression and a relaxed body, it may simply be enjoying your company. This kind of stare is very different from an intense or defensive one. A cat that feels affectionate usually looks calm, comfortable, and at ease. The eyes may appear gentle, the body will look relaxed, and there may even be a slow blink mixed into the stare. All of these signs show that your cat feels secure around you. So in many cases, when your cat stares at you, it is not asking for anything at all. It may simply be a quiet way of saying that it trusts you, feels close to you, and enjoys being near you. Reason 1. Your cat wants something. One of the most common reasons your cat stares at you is because it wants something from you. Cats may seem very independent, but they quickly learn that their owners are the ones who control many important things in their daily life. Food, treats, playtime, attention, and even access to certain places in the house often depend on you. Because of that, your cat may stare at you as a simple and effective way to get noticed. Unlike some pets that make their needs obvious right away, many cats are much quieter in the way they communicate. Instead of loudly demanding something, they often choose to sit still, look directly at you, and wait for you to respond. This kind of stare is often very intentional. Your cat is not just randomly looking at you. It is focused on you because, in that moment, you are the one who can give it what it wants. A very common example is food. If your cat is hungry, especially around its usual feeding time, it may stare at you from across the room or sit near its bowl and keep looking at you until you understand the message. The same thing can happen when your cat wants a treat. Over time, cats learn patterns very well, so if you usually feed them at a certain hour, they may begin staring before that time even arrives because they already expect it. Staring can also happen when your cat wants your attention. Some cats want to be petted, talked to, or played with, but instead of meowing right away, they first try to catch your eye. They may sit near you and stare until you finally notice them. Once you respond, they may come closer, rub against you, or lead you toward a toy. In that case, the stare is their way of starting interaction. Sometimes the reason is not food or affection, but access. Your cat may want you to open a door, let it into another room, or allow it to go somewhere it cannot reach on its own. If your cat stares at you and then looks toward the door, walks a few steps, and looks back again, it is often trying to guide you. This is a very common cat behavior. The stare gets your attention, and the movement shows you what it wants. What makes this reason so important is that cats often repeat behaviors that work. If your cat has learned that staring at you leads to food, petting, or getting a door opened, it will keep using that method. In the cat's mind, staring becomes a useful communication tool. It is quiet, direct, and often successful. This kind of stare usually feels expectant. Your cat may look alert, focused, and patient, almost like it is waiting for you to understand something. It is not the same as a soft, affectionate stare or a tense warning stare. Instead, it is more like your cat is watching you closely because it expects action from you. So in many cases, when your cat stares at you, the meaning is actually very simple. Your cat wants something, and it has learned that looking directly at you is one of the best ways to get your attention. If you really want to understand why your cat is staring at you, do not look at the eyes alone. The real meaning becomes much clearer when you pay attention to the rest of the cat's body language. A stare by itself can mean different things, but the body often reveals whether the cat is calm, curious, loving, or uncomfortable. For example, if your cat is staring at you with a relaxed body, soft eyes, and maybe even a slow blink, that usually means the cat feels safe and comfortable around you. But if the stare comes with flattened ears, a twitching tail, or a stiff posture, then the meaning is very different. In that case, your cat may be irritated, stressed, or warning you to give it some space. This is why context matters so much. The same stare can mean affection in one moment and discomfort in another. You have to look at what your cat is doing, where it is sitting, what happened right before the stare, and how the rest of its body looks. All of these small details help you understand what your cat is actually trying to say. So the best way to read your cat is not to focus on one sign alone. Watch the full picture. When you combine the stare with the body language and the situation, it becomes much easier to understand what your cat really means. So, if your cat stares at you, it does not always mean the same thing. Sometimes it wants something. Sometimes it is simply curious. Sometimes it is showing trust, and other times it may be telling you to give it space. The real meaning depends on the situation and your cat's body language. The more you observe these little signs, the better you will understand what your cat is trying to communicate. And once you start paying attention, those quiet stares can tell you a lot more than you think. If your cat stares at you all the time, let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this video, do not forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more cat videos.